Hey tennis fans, I'm Grace Carter and this is Tennis Now presented by Tennis Express. Tennis Express, order today and it ships today. In Houston this week at the historic River Oaks Country Club, a beautiful launching pad for the red clay season and the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships. This week, a world-class field has been battling it out here on the only American ATP tournament contested on red clay. And despite a soggy start, we saw history in Houston this week. Taking a break from his day job as Indian Wells tournament director, 39-year-old Tommy Haas won his Houston opener against American Riley Opelkic, a player 20 years his junior. It was a dual celebration as Haas snapped a 10-match losing streak and became the oldest man to win an ATP match since a 42-year-old Jimmy Connors reached the 1995 Halle quarterfinals. The 20-year age difference between Haas and Opelka is one of the biggest age gaps in recent history.
And happy to obviously have won again, especially against these young guys, that are going to be around for a long time. I played Andrei Rublev, I think maybe a year and a half ago. I don't remember when. It was also like a 19-year or maybe almost 20-year difference, and tonight again. So it's quite interesting to have these matchups, and in the end of the day, it's just numbers really. So happy to compete and try to do my best, and obviously happy with the win.
By the way, the ATP says the biggest age gap in recent years is in Vienna, 2011, when a then 18-year-old Dominic Thiem beat a then 44-year-old Thomas Muster. Tommy turned back the clock on social media, also posting a photo of his younger self, how precious, with Bjorn Borg, caption, "Always wanted to have Bjorn's hair. I think Tommy's hair is just fine." Haas told the Houston media that this is not a nostalgia tour for him, as many have speculated. He says if his health holds up, he wants to play more tournaments, including Roland Garros and Wimbledon, and of course events in his native Germany. I don't know, I think Tommy ought to partner up with his good friend Roger Federer for some doubles. Boy, wouldn't that be fun to watch. River Oaks is the nation's only tournament hosted by a private country club. It is also home to one of the most intimate stadium courts in the sport, seating 3,500 fans with clean sight lines and clear sounds. Fans also get a really close-up view of the practice courts. All right, moving on. The Monte-Carlo Rolex Masters celebrates its 111th anniversary next week with some intriguing plot lines. Reigning champion Rafael Nadal will play for his 10th Monte-Carlo championship and his first tournament title since Barcelona last year. World number one Andy Murray, who played Roger Federer in the Match for Africa 3 in Zurich earlier this week, said that he hopes to play Monte-Carlo if he's fully recovered from his right elbow injury. But he says if he's not ready, he is very willing to wait because he doesn't want to rush it. Fresh off Serbia's Davis Cup win in his hometown of Belgrade, world number 2 Novak Djokovic is already practicing in his adopted home of Monte Carlo. Nole, who's been hitting with his good buddy Victor Troicki, has been adding to his training by riding his bike to the Monte Carlo Country Club. Nole says he is eager to bounce back from his upset loss to Yuri Vesely back in 2016 at Monte Carlo. Meanwhile, Stan Wawrinka, the 2014 Monte Carlo champion, is playing for his first title since the U.S. Open. In other news now, Rafa fans don't have to wait for Monte Carlo to see their man in fine form. Oh no, the King of Clay is showing off Tommy Hilfiger's Spring-Summer 2017 collection. No abs in this ad. This one's all about the threads. Still looks hot. Nadal, who turns 31 in June, is currently 5th in the ATP rankings behind Murray, Djokovic, Stan Wawrinka, and Roger Federer. He announced that he's going to be skipping most of the clay court season, but he does plan to play the French Open next month. Rafa and Raja, who faced off in both the Australian Open and Miami finals, now stand at number 1 and number 2 in the ATP race to London. The top 8 men in the race for London qualify for the season-ending ATP World Tour Finals. That's in November. We could see some new faces there this year. And that's it for this edition of Tennis Now. I'm Grace Carter. We'll see you next time.